Own anything, not even yourself, the corporation owns the stock. The original American Republic, when we were founded in the United States, we were called the United States of America. It was a republic back in 1776. After the Civil War, a divided nation after the Civil War was over, we were still a lot of things, but we were not united. We had just gone through a bloody and violent civil war in America. A new civil war is coming. It looks like that's what's coming again, some kind of civil war. This time it would be between those who want to promote freedom, liberty, justice, and the traditional American way of living, versus those who want to destroy our country and our culture. Internal enemies who hate American freedom. There are people living right here in America today who hate you as an American. They don't like seeing Americans successful, making money, and being free. The one thing all enemies of America hate most is seeing you free to do your own thinking. No one in power wants free minds. Nobody who holds real political power around the world wants the people under them to be free to think for themselves. That's why America has big enemies who live here among us. They eat our food, live in our homes, drive nice cars, live well, but they hate you because you have the right to say no. 1848. The beginning of the Communist Revolution in America. In 1848 there was the beginning of a revolution in this country. From 1776 to 1848, and then in 1848 a communist revolution started in America. It ultimately led to the collapse of the original United States of America and brought about the Great Civil War. Post-Civil War, unity destroyed, bad blood remains after the Civil War. The people of this country were many things, but united was not one of them. There was a lot of bad blood between the peoples of this country. The killing had stopped, but love and unity had not returned. Decision in the 1870s, turn the country into a corporation. In the 1870s, bankers and politicians decided, since we're not united and there's serious bad blood, we can't operate as the original United States of America anymore. They chose to turn the United States into a company, a corporation, like Ford Motor Company or General Electric. Birth of the United States Incorporated. The United States became known as the United States Incorporated, a company. It was referred to simply as U.S. If you are a U.S. citizen, that means you are an employee of a corporation called the United States, or U.S. You are no longer an American, you are a corporation. You are no longer just an American born in the United States of America. You are a U.S. citizen, which means your body is a corporation. You yourself are considered a business. Everything becomes business and commerce. Everything you do is treated as a business transaction because you are a corporation. What I do is none of your business, and what you do is none of my business, because we are both companies. Marriage, licenses, and courts, all commercial. That's why you need a marriage license. You're a company and she's a company, so it's a business deal. If it doesn't work out, you don't go to God, you go to court. Your house, car, and everything else is just business, just commerce. The word commerce in law includes sex. Look up the word commerce in a law dictionary. It is defined as including sex. Sex is commerce. It's a business. Mess around with it carelessly and it can cost you a fortune in business trouble. Courts equals commercial rackets. That's why we go to court. You play basketball on a court. You play tennis on a court. The whole idea of a court is a racket, a commercial enterprise designed to control you. The judge rules from the bench, bank. The judge sits on the bench. The word bench in Latin means bank. The judge rules from the bank, because somebody's going to pay. Your body is worth millions on the stock exchange. Your body is worth $7 to $9 million on the New York Stock Exchange. Most people don't know their bodies are being bought and sold. You are a tiny stockholder in the great corporation called the U.S. Caution, this is education, not advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not preaching law. I'm just trying to educate you about how the world really works. Do not do anything with this information. You can get into serious trouble, jail, or prison. This is only for awareness. You don't really own anything. You don't own anything, not even if you pay cash for a brand new car. You only have an equitable interest. You have money invested in it, but you don't own it. Only gold and silver coin is real money according to law. Real money in America is gold and silver coin. Period. Federal Reserve notes are not money, they are bank notes, paper that can be used as money, but they are not real money. Your body backs the paper money we use represents the value of your body. Your body is the collateral, the stock, that backs the currency. Red numbers on Social Security card equals your stock serial number on the back of the Social Security card are red numbers. Those red numbers are the serial number of your stock. Wealthy people are preferred stock, poor people are common stock. Birth certificate, you become maritime, admiralty property when you were born, you came out of your mother's water, so you are a maritime/admiralty product. That's why you have a birth certificate, like a ship has a birth certificate. Your mother signed as informant, informing the system that a new product has been produced. All capital letters equals the corporate fiction, strawman, the government and banks created a second U, written in all capital letters. That all caps name is the corporation they control. Your real name, upper and lower case, is the living man or woman. World War I, hostile corporate takeover of Europe. After making huge profits, the U.S. corporation decided to expand, to take over Europe. The Germans resisted. So it became a hostile corporate takeover. We call it World War I. Bankruptcy and collateral, your body given to bankers. After World War I, the corporation went broke. The international bankers demanded collateral. The corporation gave them your body, via birth certificate, as stock/collateral. Federal Reserve and IRS, collection system for the banks. The bankers set up the Federal Reserve System to control the money flow. They created their own collection agency, called the Internal Revenue Service, to make sure the stock, you, pays them. Two kinds of law, civil versus maritime/admiralty. There are two kinds of law. Civil law, law of the land, maritime/admiralty law, law of the water, banking law. You are treated as maritime property because you came out of water, mother's birth canal. You are treated as a maritime/admiralty product. That's why your birth certificate is a commercial document. California example, no state tax, only franchise tax. The 1849 California Constitution says no California citizen will ever pay state taxes. But if you claim to be a U.S. citizen, you are a franchisee of a foreign, British-controlled, corporation. That's why you pay the California Franchise Tax Board, not a state tax. Wake up, you don't have to submit you are an American. You don't have to submit yourself to a British commercial venture. The all caps name is not you, it's a dead corporation, a corpse. You only go to court because you agreed to play in their system. Final thought, freedom versus slavery. That's the difference between being a free man and a slave. Most people still think they have to go to those British-style courts. But once you understand how it really works, you see the choice clearly.